Hi, it's Whitney Kell, and I'm super excited to be reading from The Love Cards by Robert Lee Camp. This is an effective tool that I've been using in my coaching business for several years. Along with when I ask people for their birthday that are coming into my life, I'll look them up just to see who they are and what their personality is. It gives people a deeper insight into themselves. It's given me a deeper insight into myself. And the playing deck of cards is the original tarot cards to help people who were growing crops to know better when to plant and when to harvest. This is the two of clubs that we're talking about today. It's called the conversation card. So if your birthday happens to land on May 30th, June 28th, July 26th, August 24th, September 22nd, October 20th, November 18th, or December 16th, you are the two of clubs. You also have a planetary ruling card. Some people have multiple. So if you want to look below in the notes, I added your birth date and then your planetary ruling card or cards. And you can listen to the other recordings if you're interested in knowing what your other card is. Among people of this card, you will note a wide variety of personalities. Some are fearful or nearly everything, especially of being alone, and will do everything in their power to make sure they are surrounded by people who admire them or are there to talk to. They are sociable and enjoy good, stimulating conversations. Then there are those who are reclusive and appear to need no one. In truth, they are just as afraid and always have one special person to whom they attach themselves. The Ace of Spades karma card can mean an inner fear of death or change, which explains much of their behavior. However, these people are endowed with many natural abilities and gifts. They will be exceptional in business and with people, preferring to work in partnership rather than alone. They actually have one of the more fortunate life paths. There is much protection surrounding this card, and they all have much to be grateful for. If they simply recognize the abundance in their lives, they will help to dispel the underlying fear that can do much damage. The two of clubs loves to talk and share ideas. They have an incredible mind that can make the finest distinctions. They are witty and charming, unless they are caught up in fear, which makes them irritable and argumentative, like most people. Much of their life is fated, and part of their challenge is to simply accept things as they are, especially themselves and their closest relationships. Some of the two of clubs relationship issues. Some of the most physically beautiful, attractive, intelligent people are the two of clubs. Congratulations. And one would usually look at them and think they could have almost anyone they desire. It is a mystery in some cases why they choose the people with whom they end up. This is more of a trait in the female two of clubs than the males. Their love relationships are more a reflection of their state of inner wellness and self-love than of any other factor. I think that's true for everybody as well. If their inherent fear has not been recognized and confronted, they will often settle for anyone just to avoid being alone. Or for someone who is abusive, psychotic, or weird in some way, this can lead to codependent and other undesirable relationships. Their Six of Spades, Pluto, and Queen of Hearts result cards are often the indicators of one or more fated relationships that are meant to help them learn the meaning of responsibility in their affections. The meaning of the Six of Clubs, or Spades, Pluto card, should be studied carefully, as it is often associated with the hurdle that stands between them and satisfying love. The Four of Hearts and Mars tells us that they often choose a mate who is very sexual, argumentative, or aggressive, and that the Two of Clubs themselves can be the instigator of the arguments that come up from time to time. The Two of Clubs has the kind of mind that can pick others apart and find all of their mistakes and shortcomings, but it doesn't seem to help them in the actual choices they make in their relationships. That's interesting. Many have been known to choose a mate who is less than ideal in many respects. Then once they are with that person, their critical nature surfaces and they can spend a lot of time and energy focusing on the negative traits of their partner. A successful relationship often requires them to moderate this critical tendency to bring out the best in their mate, while at the same time not allowing their own idealism to turn a completely blind eye to glaring deficiencies in their partner's character. Discrimination in their choice of partners will bring them great rewards. This is one of those cards that can usually have anyone they want for a partner. Congratulations. They have more freedom of choice in this area because they themselves have a lot to offer. If they take some time to understand their impulses, needs, desires, and feelings, they will attract a partner who is more loving and considerate, one who satisfies their Two of Clubs urge for the perfect companion with whom they may share everything. I like the Two of Clubs. The fearful Two of Clubs. I'm just going to read this last part. Try to keep it under 7 minutes. Not every Two of Clubs will admit to these fears, but most will. Their Ace of Spades karma card represents the vast unknown that lies beyond our logical minds. The Two of Clubs, that unknown quality, can bring up some of the most horrid fears. High among those fears is that of being alone. For example, a friend of mine is a Two of Clubs. When his first wife left him, he became so afraid that he curled up into a ball in his bed and stayed there for 6 weeks. But overall, the man is a very sociable and successful person. He also has many friends, and he arranges his life so that he never has to spend any time by himself. It seems true that the Two of Clubs would rather be with anybody than all alone. But you sound like such a great person. This is true for all twos to some extent, but the Two of Clubs stands out in this regard. When we make decisions from fear, the results are always a bigger problem than the original problem. Interesting. When we are fearful, we are out of touch with our natural intuition. True. We are in a state of emergency, grasping for something that will quickly remedy our situation. Oftentimes, the choices we make in this state satisfy our immediate needs, but are not good for the long term. Fear is something all of us have to some extent, for sure. It is a natural part of life that has a good purpose in many situations, preventing us from doing things that may hurt us or others. But when it becomes excessive, it creates undesirable results, as occurs with some Two of Clubs people. They just keep making those decisions based on their fears, which perpetuates their problems. The remedy for the Two of Clubs is to face that deep fear that is often haunting them. We have nothing to fear but fear itself, said Winston Churchill, and this is an applicable saying for the Two of Clubs. For many of them, they first need to admit it to themselves. They have to turn the lights on in the darkened room of their mind and face the monsters that lie hidden there. Those who do face it discover a new power within them, the power of the mystic that is revealed by the Ace of Spades, the ancient symbol for secret knowledge and the order of the Magi. So for those of you out there listening to this thinking, well, where do I start? I like therapists, coaches, and I do a lot of meditation and journaling and listening to audio recordings on YouTube that fill my heart and my mind to help me reprogram the fears and anxiety that I've experienced because of the trauma in my life. So I hope that was helpful. I hope that landed for some of you. The Two of Clubs, the conversation card. Remember to look below if you want to read about your planetary ruling card. Cheers.